VR is a phenomenon that science hasn't really wrapped its head around yet, and still, users plunge themselves into the virtual world. Just like how many generations have dreamed of. Fighting zombies, slowing down time, but most of all, meeting people. You can meet virtually anyone online, and VR pushes that to the next level of expression, giving you virtual arms and legs, really putting you into the virtual world. Meeting people, sitting down and talking to them, actually being able to see that person in front of you, expressed in whatever way they want, is almost movie-like. But it's not, it's a reality. This isn't some Oasis in the future. This is VRChat. So I should probably explain to the people in the back what VRChat actually is. Many people already know that it's an anime-filled game with 40-year-old men behind the screen. But many others know it as a place where they can meet their friends and talk about their day, just like meeting in real life. Except, you're Carl Weezer and your mate is an astronaut. VRChat was created as a social platform at first, and well, yeah, it's pretty boring, despite the fact that you can be any avatar you want. It's just speaking to people after all. But now, in 2023, there's cars, murder mystery,
I guess it's time to kill you now.
and literally anything you can imagine, all thanks to the player base using Udon code to make their dreams in the virtual world. I mean, it almost sounds too good to be true, right? Well, there are downsides, of course. It's the internet after all. There are creeps, trolls, and all kinds of stuff on there. Hell, you could go into a public lobby and see a group filled with degenerates, or you could stumble upon a brand new group of friends. It's kinda just a gamble. And that's the side effects of this virtual oasis. Now, when I say that VRChat is an oasis for some people, I'm not just saying that for the sake of sounding dramatic. I'm serious. There are millions of players, people, in the virtual world of VRChat, talking, sleeping, drinking, just like a normal society. Except in this world, you can be anyone, anything. And that's why VRChat seems to just hook people. You can talk to anyone in the world, use your body language just like normal, but in your own avatar. You could be a paladin, a neon master chief, a goose. You could be literally anyone you want, and that's a feeling you will never experience in the real world. VRChat seems to have its own rules too, created slowly by the community. And that's what I want to talk about next. In the real world, you have a certain set of rules that you must follow. A certain lifestyle even. In VRChat, you don't really have a set lifestyle, and the rules of VR are completely different. You can walk up to some random guys and just barge into their conversation, and that's, well, normal. Everyone seems to abide by these rules for the most part. Almost as if VRChat has created its own virtual society. What other game has that sort of thing? I mean, you've got Call of Duty, but that's just...
Riot Shield, what else you want me to
Oh, Riot Shield! I'm a pussy that use Riot Shield!
Just sitting, talking to some randoms about life in general is something that seems to be odd outside of VR. Yet in this world, it's normal. It's encouraged even. Like, it's literally in the game name. That's a bit of a hint, right? Another key point of VRChat is the societal norm for everyone to be a lot more confident than they would be in the real world. Studies have actually started to look into this, because it seems to reflect on the person in real life too, becoming more of a responsible and confident person. It's suspected that because you're in the body that you want to be in, and yet you're not truly there, you're, in a way, talking through someone else's body. And that's when things truly get psychological. Psychology has always been the forefront of games, whether it affects people's violent tendencies, or if it affects our health physically. The media has always piggybacked on these fear-mongering campaigns. But are they actually true? Well, no, of course not. But when it comes to VR, because the player is way more immersed than staring at a screen, does that suddenly mean that the media is right? Well, it's not really that simple, and I'll explain why. Addiction is way more prominent in the virtual world, purely because, well, it feels like a paradise. Imagine you got to be in the perfect body, in the perfect home, with the perfect life, able to do whatever you want, wherever you want, and meet your friends from across the globe. That sounds like an amazing place, right? Why would you want to go back to reality after that? That's where many people get lost. But why am I speaking about this? Because, well, often people assume that's what every single VRChat user is. A worthless person without a job, or a life, or anything. But, well, they're not. They're people. Yes, sure, there are the people in lolly outfits, but we don't talk about them. They don't count. VRChat brings out the best and the worst people in the world, and well, that's kind of expected, because it is the internet after all. There are countless documentary-style videos on these topics, and how VR can become an addiction, with VRChat being the ringleader of it all. But at the end of the day, it's always the people that make the game what it is today. Although great, VRChat has many boundaries. Without being able to fully interact with the world around you, it'll feel fake. But with new haptics like the Shockwave suit or Tesla suit, that Ready Player One reality is getting closer and closer. In 3 years, the advancements in VR alone have been exponential with the release of a mainstream full-body tracking system by Sony. It's only so long before it will be fully integrated into our world. So what does this mean for VRChat? How does this affect the virtual world that's been developing over all these years? Well, with the development of new technology comes even more advancements in the digital world too, allowing you to high-five a friend or hug a loved one from across the globe, something that only VR can really do. The connection that VRChat gives to players may seem simple on the outside, but being able to see your friend in front of you feels not only natural, but even more socialized. This, in comparison to a phone call or a video call, outstands every form of communication, and the only way I can fully describe that is for you to try it out yourself. That leads us to today's sponsor, Syntec. Syntec is a company providing incredible tech products from LED key lights to their brand new RGB glow mic microphone. That's not all either. They also produce incredible products for VR gaming like their signature Oculus Link cables, carrying cases and new head straps for the Quest 2 or 3 and so much more. Head on down to the description below and click the link to find out more, or use code ROCKETRANGER5% for a discount off your next purchase. Thanks again to Syntec for sponsoring this video. Now back to me rambling about VR. That's the best part about VRChat. You don't even need a VR headset to play. You can have a friend on a Quest, another friend on a PC VR, another on a monitor, and soon, well, even phones. This allows everyone to connect in a unique way, and with the user-generated games being developed more and more, it's only a matter of time before VRChat turns into something way more than a social hangout. As discussed before, VRChat has evolved to have cars, murder mystery, puzzle-solving maps, horror games, and so much more within the worlds created by the amazing developers behind the scenes. This has been proven to become a more successful media too, with Fortnite Creative and Roblox allowing users to make games for themselves for years, giving users full access to whatever they please. But even still, VRChat is more than just a VR Roblox. It's a unique and groundbreaking platform in which there's a community like no other. But, as with all things online, the internet can't be perfect. VRChat has been around since 2014. That's almost 10 years ago as of writing this. Ever since this date, VRChat has kind of been known as this cesspit of the internet, attracting sad, lonely introverts inside it and turning them into lolly avatars. And to some degree, I'd agree with you. As you get deeper into the rumors and allegations of the users on VRChat, such as Aaron Zeman, or even anonymous groups becoming increasingly predatory towards the minors in VRChat, it gets pretty odd and quite scary. These stories are incredibly deep and go down an entirely different rabbit hole from what I mean to talk about, but I highly encourage you to watch these videos and see for yourself the deplorable actions of these people. I will leave links in the description for you to find out more. VRChat has not only been known for its predators and sexualized environments, but also the lesser problems, as well as kids being on the platform
click the funny
how about you do it?
little button on the side, then walk outside your house.
With VRChat being such an open place to make people feel at home, it also harbors many groups hating on other groups of minorities such as homophobic groups, fascist and racist groups, to more tame things like furry hating cultures and such. Yes, there are creeps, there are trolls, there are awful activities that happen daily on VRChat, and unfortunately that is the cost of having an online network. I'm not entirely sure if there is a network out there where it's completely safe, and unfortunately that is the reality. VRChat has become the weird uncle of virtual reality almost. But underneath the surface, still harbors an incredible community fighting to keep VRChat a safe place for everyone, welcoming users rather than gatekeeping them. So, does all that information make you want to dust off the game and try it for yourself? Probably not. But in all seriousness, the world of VRChat is much more than just talking, drinking, or sleeping, but in VR. It's a platform for developers to create experiences, for users to make friends and brand new memories, and for the community to evolve and hold events to collaborate and expand. I mean, there are literally concerts happening right now with thousands of people in them. So that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, or hopefully it let you see what VRChat is in a slightly different way than the media portrays it. And if not, well, I wasted your time. Too late to go back now.